Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. All right, I want you to know that I'm still working on getting that Andrew video up and out, but in the meantime, there's been some other little twists and turns and stuff going on. This could get very interesting. Oh my. All right, let's just jump in. Shockers. There's going to be some shockers in here. Let's go. We're starting off today. King Charles, as we knew he was going to do, went back to Aberdeen to meet refugees who had settled there. He met refugees from the Ukraine, Syria, and Afghanistan. As it's been with the other outings, the crowd was very happy to see him. Hundreds of people lined the street. Here he is arriving. Watch this. They met in the town hall. They had a spot of tea together. I loved it when that was said. Yeah, there's Charles holding his cup. They had a lot to talk about. Everybody was very thankful to see Charles, and they were very thankful to settle in that town. Looks great. All right, then of course it came time to go. Of course the crowds were loving on Charles, but here he is leaving. Watch this. Next up, Princess Eugenie did a visit to the Anti-Slavery Collective Art Exhibition in Trafalgar Square. How's that? With the CEO, Patrick Ryan, and co-founder of the Anti-Slavery Collective, Julia D. Bonville, Lord Mayor of Westminster, Hasma. Yeah, I'm not going to name all those places. It's too difficult. She looked lovely, and I'm glad she went. Next up, Queen Camilla posed with a ton of Paddington bears. These were bears that were left when the Queen passed away. They were left stuck to the fence. They were left laying in the flowers. They were all over the place, and they're being cleaned up, spiffed up, and donated to the local children's hospital. There were about 1,000 of them. And of course, we all remember the absolutely hilarious skit that Queen Elizabeth did during her Platinum Jubilee with Paddington Bear. I love this story. Next up, Prince Andrew, it's saying, is not going to be getting any rehabilitation whatsoever during Charles's reign. Well, let me just say, as I am taping this, my video I did for Andrew is being stopped by YouTube. So you'll be watching this, but hopefully you'll be watching that video very soon. I don't think he needs rehab. I think he just got shown to be innocent. Moving on. All right, next up, these stories are coming out, and here's the crux of it. I've shown you this story before, but here's the crux of it. Harry and Meghan's plan was to put out the memoir, put out the Netflix docuseries, damage the royal family, slam Charles, slam Camilla, and then next year they were going to have a reconciliation. You know, they left the family how many years ago? How much longer do I have to hear their thoughts on what they think about the family? You've said your piece. You've said it ridiculous amount of times. Most of what you've been said has been proven to be a lie. How much longer are you going to go on with this? And this is why we're constantly seeing these stories about Charles is going to ban Harry and Meghan from the coronation. He's not stupid. He knows they'll be taping for Netflix. And in the meantime, they're attacking his wife. Ugh, moving on. All right, I saw this on Twitter. It is from 2019, but it's still relevant today because apparently a firm in Europe did a dive into social media, and what he found was that there was a Twitter bot network that was attacking any journalists that reported on Meghan Markle. So with people being threatened and all this stuff going on, they did an investigation, and what they found was that there was over 1,100 highly connected Twitter accounts in a network who shared content about Meghan Markle obsessively. And while very few of those accounts were entirely automated, which is a classic bot account, they found that many had unusual features which showed collusion or automation behind it. There you go. They found that anonymity was a common feature of the accounts, and when royal correspondents and major royal watchers have verified Twitter accounts, the fake accounts don't have real profile names or photos. They don't have large numbers of followers either, but they're still very connected. They follow each other. They retweet. You know how we're always looking on Twitter now and we're seeing 20 or 30, accounts like Mirror Royal and all these people saying, oh, Meghan does this and Meghan does that, and they all say the exact same thing. That's the hive right there. That's how they're doing it, which is very interesting because that's supposed to be against Twitter rules. And the article even said it was an orchestrated campaign to manipulate public opinion of Meghan Markle. So there you go. So for other people that supposedly run a bots, Sentinel, or they run bot companies, and they're only doing Amber Heard and Meghan Markle hate accounts, they're not even looking at the Sussex Squad. What does that tell you? Yeah. All right, moving on. All right, here we go. Netflix is being hit hard. There is a major cost of living increase. Well, it's around the world. It really is, but it's really bad over in Europe. And so millions of Britons have canceled their subscriptions, not just to Netflix, but also to Amazon Prime and Disney, because it's a choice between paying them or eating. I think that should be very obvious, especially when you look at the fact that Netflix recently said that The Crown has been presented as a drama based on historical events. They refuse to put a disclaimer up saying that it's really not real. And people are getting upset and they just don't want anything to do with it. Now, to try to keep these millions of people from not canceling, they've offered a new monthly subscription service that's £4.99 or pounds a month. But you have to sit through 30-minute long advertisements in the middle, before, after shows. No, people, I say just cancel and let Netflix sink. They would have enough money if they hadn't hired Harry and Meghan. So, of course, we already know that Harry and Meghan are clashing with the Netflix bosses because they want to try to walk back the attacks on the royal family. That was part of the attack and then reconcile next year, except the Queen died. Well, so, of course, the Netflix bosses are like, we barely have any content as it is. No, we're not walking anything back. And now it's come out that they plan to reenact Princess Diana's final days before her crash. They plan to reenact her Martin Bashir interview. You know that William said that he was hoping that interview would never be aired again. Harry was also very upset about it, didn't want it shown again. The Crown is basically going to show the all in all out war between Charles and Diana. I mean, this woman's been dead 25 years. They just can't let her die in peace. I'm telling you. All right, moving on. Now, let me just say that this article just came out, and what it's saying is, because there have been so many attacks on season 5 of The Crown, because of it, and because that's really the only card they have left to play, Netflix has decided to postpone the documentary with Harry and Meghan until next year. There you go. It was supposed to stream on Netflix in December, right after The Crown. But Netflix has come under fire from former UK Prime Minister John Major and other people suggesting that, The Crown, it's called the Queen Victoria Syndrome because she was 63 years on the throne. Basically, what it comes down to is there is a suggestion that they tried to overthrow the late Queen. And Major says that's complete malicious nonsense. Nobody tried to make her abdicate. It's not true. But there have been so many negative front page stories that executives of Netflix have decided they're not going to air the documentary till next year. It also could be that Harry and Meghan have pulled some kind of a trump card on them. We won't get to the coronation. You're not going to get footage. You're not going to get this. You're not going to get, who knows? Unbelievable. Now, with all that said, let me just also say, let's not forget that Harry and Meghan are fighting for those titles for their kids from the horrible, racist royal family. And if they say one bad word about Camilla, their kids are finished. It's all finished. But considering that the coronation's not taking place until June and the book is definitely going to come out before then, and so will the Netflix documentary, oh, forget it. Delaying it isn't going to stop the inevitable. All right, next up, I want to thank Harry's Gray Suit on Twitter. I saw where they had put up 2 or 3 GIFs, those little GIFs of Megan fake laughing. She has this big fake laugh where she throws her head back, throws her head forward, claps her hands, puts her hands in front of her mouth. It's very fake. It's very contrived. Anyway, I put together a little compilation for you. So watch this. All right, one more piece of video evidence that showed up on Twitter today again. I believe it was Harry's Gray Suit. I've shown you this before where they went to the Commonwealth. They went for the last event, and she wore green when they were told not to. They were specific colors they were supposed to wear, and she wore green. She had to tell Harry to smile as they were walking in. Then she was giving Sophie the stink eye. And I always wondered what had happened when they left. Well, somebody found something, and it was on Twitter, that clearly shows that they were supposed to, you leave the way you file in. So they were in the row behind William and Catherine and before Sophie and Edward, or after Sophie and Edward. So when they left, it should have been William and Catherine, then Sophie and Edward, and then them. But I had no idea that they had done this. Watch this. They stood up, pushed their way through the chairs so they could walk out behind William and Catherine. That's why Sophie was giving Megan the look. Here it is a little bit closer up. That's probably one of the things they were whispering about to each other while they were sitting there giving everybody else the stink eye. Wow. Well, guys, a short but sweet video today. Again, I'm trying to get the other video up and running. Hopefully the next day, when you hear me talking on it, obviously it was meant to go up on Monday morning and it didn't. So now you're seeing this video on Tuesday, so hopefully it'll be up on Wednesday. We'll see how YouTube handles this. We're getting there. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can watch my uploads when you get them, okay? Don't forget to leave your comments below. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Getter, and Rumble. You can email me, my Patreon information. All the links for all of that is in the description box. To those who have donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.